guys! It is another beautiful Seattle weekend, and today I will be checking out the Museum of Flight. I went to the Boeing factory not too long ago and it was actually pretty neat. I learned a lot, so I'm really excited to see what the Museum of Flight is going to teach me. We're gonna go try one of the flight simulators now. Highly recommend the flight simulator. So we had 2 people riding and it ended up being $18, so $9 per person. If you do solo, it would be I think $15. So definitely worth it to go with 2 people. It was really fun. We got, which plane did we get again? We got an F-15, which means that it came with missile and machine gun. So I personally think you hit a lot more planes when you do the missile, because machine gun you have to really be on point. And we did good. The average, the lady said, was between 0 to 4 kills, and we got 8 kills. We're pilot aces, so we would have won a war. We would have came back to money and glory and women. So yeah, pretty happy about that.
An enemy machine gunner from firing straight down the trench and killing everyone in sight. And out in front of us, heroes pretty trench. And the Germans and the other, and there they held fast. Talk about unwanted company.
So the museum is actually split into 2 parts, 2 separate buildings. Where we were at was the indoor portion of it, so it's a lot more of the older planes, other than the Apollo exhibit, of course. And now we're crossing this tunnel to cross the street to see the other side, which should be more of the newer aircraft. So my final thoughts for the Museum of Flight is it's actually a very beautiful, nicely organized museum, considering that, you know, aircrafts and spacecrafts are such big artifacts and exhibits to have. I thought they did a really good job of fitting it all in and making it look beautiful and giving each individual plane its own highlight. And I felt there's also enough going on other than just looking at planes to have a really good time here. I spent around 3 hours here, and you could easily spend 3 or 4 hours here if you take your time. And also if you watch the 3D movie, which I didn't get to do this time, but I feel like it would be really fun. Just a heads up, the two 3D movies that they're showing are around 30 minutes or so it's not something short and you have to pay extra for it. So if that's something you do want to do, then I would recommend planning a little more ahead of time for that. They also have a lot of children exhibits and things to do, so you can definitely take your whole family here and you can all have a very good time. Flight Simulator is also one of the highlights. I really recommend playing it. It's super fun. They also have another one that I showed in the video earlier, but that one you don't really control where you're going. It's just it's either 13 or 15 seater, and it's more like a 3D movie that moves. So would I pick both? It really depends on what your budget is, but definitely I would pick the flight pilot one. I love that there's plane noises. It really adds to the experience. Do I recommend the museum overall? Definitely. I think it's a great place to go if you really want to learn more about aviation. I didn't really do the Boeing factory one just because a lot of times you weren't allowed to show your phone in case you dropped your phone or lost it and things like that. But here there's definitely plenty of photo opportunities for you. I also like the fact that there's 2 parts to the museum. So one part is where all the planes are displayed and there's a lot of history. And then the other part, which I just showed you where we crossed the pedestrian bridge, was more on the outdoor. And it's really nice because there's a lot of planes that, you know, most of the time when you go on planes, you don't really think about really observing it from the inside. You're just taking a plane to go to your destination, whereas where we were earlier, I got to go on, you know, Air Force One, which I probably would never get to go to Air Force One in my lifetime. So getting to experience that was really cool, and also any other planes that you might be a fanatic for and want to take your time and check out the inner workings of it. Definitely a great time. Highly recommend. I think it's an awesome summer thing to do with your family, just because you can kind of enjoy the sunshine and there's a lot of walking to be done. You can also enjoy it on the winter time too. I just feel like it might close a little early. So the museum is open from, I want to say 9. I know it definitely closes at 5. I will link the hours in the description box below. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and join me on my next adventure. See you next video. Bye!